It's almost a total meme at this point when a Democrat asks Trump or Trump supporters if we concede the 2020 election. First of all, that's a ridiculous question because that was 4 years ago. Thanks for asking. Second of all, it's misleading because what they want us to say is Trump was 100% wrong about questioning the election results, even though our main concern was the integrity of placing mail-in ballots in an unsecured drop box and seeing Democrat votes jump up magically by 10 million after Hillary Clinton's loss. But third, get over it. We just finished the landslide victory of the 2024 election, and the American people have spoken and clearly wanted Trump back in office. You know, they want to act like that Trump conceding the 2020 election would somehow bring unity into our country, but really, if anything, it would cause even more division because the Republicans would probably be mad at him, number one, and number two, Democrats would just clown him. So it's such a scam of a question. But anyways, our wonderful president-elect Donald Trump put NBC's Kristen Welker in her place for asking such a stupid question.
For the sake of unifying this country, will you concede the 2020 election and turn the page on that chapter?
No. No. Why would I do that? But let me just tell you, when you say the country is deeply divided, I'm not the president. Joe Biden's the president.
But you're going to be the president.
No. I'm not the president. So when you say it's deeply divided, I agree. But Biden's the president. I'm not. And he has been a divider. And you know where he divided it more than anything else, and it probably backfired on him, I think definitely, is weaponization. When he weaponized the Justice Department and he went after his political opponent, me, he went after his political opponent violently because he knew he couldn't beat him. And I think it really was a bad thing. And it really divided our country.
If you followed the rise of Trump back from 2015 as closely as I've had, they really started to pummel him when he made the comment about illegal immigrants being criminals and bringing drugs into our country. And if we had a fair press, they would have agreed with that statement. But from there on, the media constantly twisted his words and added racism and sexism into the mix to make America be divided on Trump. And 9 years later, nothing changed with the media, minus Twitter being bought. I mean, we'll see what happens to the liberal networks. They're either going to add more Republican voices or flat out sell them. That's my prediction, at least. But it doesn't take a rocket surgeon to be able to figure out Trump is really not that divisive. He's actually more moderate than people believe.
Sir, Democrats have control of the White House now. They didn't in 2020. If they are going around stealing elections, why
when you
didn't
say
they do it
Democrats
this
have
time?
control now
Of the White House.
Yeah.
So why didn't they steal this election? Since they have more power now.
because I think it was too big to rig.
So you won't.
Too big to rig.
To the people who say that you're now directing your Justice Department to investigate 2020, and they want to move on.
I have very capable. I think Pam is going to be great.
Precious resources.
By the way,
is that what you want them to do?
Just so you know, I have the right to do that, but I'm not interested in that.
Oh, you're not. You're not going to do that.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I have the absolute right. I'm the chief law enforcement officer. You do know that. I'm the president. But I'm not interested in that. You know what I'm interested in? Drilling and getting prices down and stopping people from pouring into our border that come from prisons and mental institutions.
It's funny because on the topic of divisiveness, Trump literally just said he's not going to go out of his way to investigate Democrats. And as much as I want there to be full-on investigations into the Biden crime family, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, he's choosing the unity path. But is it really going to matter if the media doesn't change? And 4 years from now, let's say Democrats take control. They'd run on throwing Trump in jail, and it'd be this constant jailing battle back and forth. I mean, look up the Fairness Doctrine from 1949. If you had a broadcast license, you had to present controversial issues of public importance in an honest, equitable, and balanced way. Let's say we bring that back to the major networks that are available to the general public at dentists, airports, malls, wherever. That may bring our country back to trusting the media, because we can't have liberal news networks have monopolies that disseminate information in such a blatantly false, biased way. We can still have websites and independent journalism doing their thing, being overly biased. This still allows for the First Amendment because you're getting both sides of the issue covered. It's something to think about because we had 90% of negative coverage against Trump and 84% positive for Kamala Harris. That is election interference at the highest level, and something with the media needs to change.